Welcome to Esoteric Thoughts. Today we have Prince and Daniel joining us again. This is the part 2. Today is going to be a series of questions posed by Prince to Daniel. And the topic is, why don't you believe in the God of the Bible? So the format will be predominantly Prince asking questions to Daniel to get an understanding of his beliefs or lack of belief. So on that note, Prince, over to you.
So the last time we spoke, we learned a lot. I think I learned a lot from you. You know what I mean? And it's good that we have a follow-up.
Agreed.
So the last time I asked you if you was a Muslim, you said no. But you didn't say who you are. Like, are you an atheist, or like why are you interested in the Bible, in what's in the Bible? Are you a Christian? Are you? Let's refer.
Is that a question? Am I a Christian?
Yeah. I'm asking you, like, what's your understanding of the Bible itself, like the scriptures? What's your understanding of the scriptures?
So as it relates to our last discussion, I said that I'd grown up Christian, and when you grow up Christian, everything that entails, you go to church every Sunday, every Saturday, you go to Bible school, you talk about stuff, and you go to church. You try to go to church even during the week. So for me, I grew up particularly staunch Christian, and I think I said the last time I'd read the book. I'd actually read it twice. King James. King James and NIV. I remember Bible school, it was a thing. We had to read it, and
At what age did you like start to seeing the God of the Bible differently?
It's a good question.
Because you grew up as a Christian, so when did you, at 13, 14, 15, when you start becoming
probably around 13, 14, I started to question internally certain things. And I think, and if I remember correctly, my first question that I was slapped down for was, where did God come from? That was the first. Where did God come from? And
did you get an answer?
No, I got a slap around the head. Don't question the Bible, don't question God, and all the usual stuff.
So I guess the main question is, why don't you believe in the God of the Bible? So you believe in God, you believe in no God, or do you believe in a God?
Well, this is where we're going to get specific, and I like the fact that you asked me that, because I don't particularly subscribe to the God of the Bible. My experience with that particular rhetoric has made me question a number of things which I don't really necessarily subscribe to. However, the belief, when I look at the universe and the cosmos and stars and suns and moon and galaxies and things, for me, I ask myself, where did all of that come from? And and I have no problem believing that there's some kind of higher power. What that higher power is, who that higher power is, what that higher power is, where it came from. I have no issue with that per se. But what I do have an issue with is, sorry.
No. I'm still listening to you, but I'm gonna read something from the scriptures, and I want you to tell me if you believe it, if it's true or not.
Sure, go ahead.
So I'm gonna read Matthew 4, verse 4. He said, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. Do you believe that?
No, because here's the thing. I think if we circle back to our previous conversation, I said to you that I remember saying that the Bible, for me, I learned that it was written by men, and up until about 100 or so years ago, people said it was written by God, and I said, and as time went on, we now know actually it was written by men, and those men that wrote the book wrote it however many centuries, specifically the New Testament after Christ. And then ever since then, we've had translations of copies of translations throughout. You will hear people say things like, oh, have you read the original Hebrew or the original Greek? Or you need a theologian to translate these things for you. With enough time that's gone down through the generations, we've learned this book was written by men. And now people say, okay, you know what? It was actually written by men, but inspired by God. For me, because I know it was written by men, I have no interest in that. I don't, because men are fallible. Men do things for their own purposes, for their own gain. And when I think about God, whoever or whatever God is, for me, that's too far to comprehend. That being is so beyond our comprehension that we can't even begin to fathom what this being is. Sorry, go. You're going to say something.
Yeah. So about the prophets, then they're all different prophets, right?
Yes.
All these different prophets come through different generations from different geographical location, right? And they all say similar things or have written similar things with different judgments from the God of the scriptures, right? Like you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, plus you have the Old Testaments, Haggai, Zechariah. So all these people live through different times. Yes. Some of them at the same time, but they all get revelations and prophecies and prophets. So all these prophets that was before us, the God that communicate with them, you don't believe that God exists?
Again, no, because all of these people, prophets or no, are men. And as much as you talk about the prophets, all of these prophets are at different times and stuff. Why do we no longer have those prophets? Why did they stop? Because those prophets were like from this time and that time. Why did the prophets suddenly stop?
They didn't stop.
Okay.
Unless you said Marcus Garvey to us is a prophet. Mandela to us is also a prophet.
Do you mean prophet as a generic term, or specifically a biblical type prophet with
there is a time when you have to seal the book, as it says in Daniel, that you have to seal the book at some point. And then there's a cutoff point when he says, this is what God says he wants to go forward into the world, the gospel. So obviously the many captivities, this book still survives because it's written of the prophets that is enough for us. Even as us Israelites, we see these people as our ancestors. So that's why we don't believe that the Bible is for everyone. So like you denying the God of the Bible is nothing new. But I just want to know why you, as a melanated, you got a soul, you've got clear thinking, you've got like, if anything should happen, you said, oh Jesus, or oh God, or you remember God in your prayers. But the God only comes from the scriptures, the Bible. So any other God outside of the scriptures is not really a God to the world, you know, not through Christ. So if you don't believe, that's why I want you to tell me, why don't you believe in the God of the Bible? Like you're on a one-man tribe, because there's millions of people that believe, even Muslims believe, because they said, yeah, we confirm that these prophets are true. So for you as a one man to say you don't believe, and I'm sure your family believed, because they used to put you into church, right?
First of all, I'm not a one man. There are a lot of people that subscribe to what I think, because what I tend to do is I tend to look at things from a scientific, logical, reasonable point of view. Because many people believe something, that doesn't make that thing to be true. Example, before you understood what Christianity, your version of Christianity, however many thousands of years ago, people believed in Zeus. Now, you might say that Zeus is the same thing, but I'm talking about the Greek mythological Zeus. People believed in Zeus, Ares, Thor, all of these old mythological, they would believe, they said that, lightning would strike. That was Zeus's thunderbolt. When Hera, his wife, his sister wife, was the mother of the earth and rebirth. Artemis, the goddess of hunting. These people, there was an entire nation of people that believed in these gods. The pantheon of gods, it's known as. That didn't make that true. It wasn't. We now know that those things were not true. So when you say there's a number of millions of people who believe X God in the Bible or this, or it doesn't necessarily make it true. And again, the reason why I don't subscribe to these books is because these books are more often than not are written by men. Everyone calling this person a prophet and that person did this, and it's in the scripture that it's all of this says to me, this book was written by, this book or these series of books, like Greek mythology, was written by a group of men. Now, for me, when I say to you, God as a supernatural, all-powerful being, I can subscribe to that, because that God, whoever or whatever that God is, in my mind, when I look at it, when I'm being intellectually honest with you, I don't know what that God is. I don't know who that God is. Do I have an issue with believing in a God, an all-powerful being? No problem. I have no problem believing in it, because when you look at something like the Big Bang, I look at the Big Bang and I say to myself, what was the cause the millisecond before the Big Bang? Nobody knows what that is. Some people say it's God. Some people, scientists say, it's a singularity. Nobody, it's like a black hole. That's where physics basically falls apart. But for me, I have no problem thinking, well, there might have been some kind of all-powerful being that caused that spark. But what I'm saying is, ultimately, is whether the existence of a God is not the issue. I don't have a problem with the existence of a God. What I have an issue is the rhetoric that we get taught on earth. Whenever somebody says to me, we talked about it before, what people get taught, we use words to in speech to inspire people and tell people and give people anecdotes and tell stories and inspire people and teach people. The rhetoric that we get taught through biblical stuff is the things that I don't subscribe to. But it's not about me not believing in God. It's about specifically, we related to the question that Esoteric asked. It's the God of the Bible. That's what I don't subscribe to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, can you hear me? So so that means you don't identify yourself as the people that are spoken of in the Bible?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So basically, interesting. So the Bible speaks of an historical people and all different nations, and you don't see that you belong to none of these nations.
The Bible talks about history.
Yes,
But it is,
definitely.
the Bible talks about history, but it is not a historical book. There's a marked difference there. It may talk, and there are a number of books in the world that can talk about history, that can refer to history, allude to, imply, indicate, point towards history, sure. But that does not make those books historical books. So when you say the Bible talks about certain history relating to a particular type of people, could it mention certain things? Sure. Could those people existed? Maybe. But that does not make it a historical book. You know, the anecdotes in the Bible doesn't confirm the historicity of the Bible. Not even close.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say, have you got a Bible?
Not since the last time I checked, no.
So you have nothing at all to do with the Bible anymore. Since you read it, if I read the Bible twice, yeah, I would have been so proud of that achievement. I would always have a Bible, because then I'm having a conversation. It's especially this conversation between us. It would have been important for you to.
I read the Bible twice a long time ago, and I remember having to read it. It was forced upon me to read it. It was tough. It wasn't easy. I've retained some of the information, not all of it, because it's not, again, like I said, it's not a book that I subscribe to. But when you say that you would be so proud, I'm guessing that you probably, because of your affiliation with being an Israelite and so forth, I think that probably there would be some kind of enjoyment in that because of your interest in it. Whereas for me, I'm all about gaining knowledge. The Bible for me is a book where, again, men wrote it, and if it inspires you and it makes you feel good and it makes you relate or to
All
a
right, tell me if this is inspiring. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Revelation 2, Revelation 13. This is Revelation, right?
Okay.
13, verse 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. Yeah. So like this is saying, if someone leads someone into captivity, they should also go into captivity. So, and this is Revelation. So I'm saying, when you read stuff like this, it makes you want to read more to see
Yeah,
what.
sure. I don't dispute that, but you don't. That kind of rule or idea or ideology is not exclusive to the Bible. You can find that same teaching anywhere else. For example, you said to me, "Do you have a Bible?" And I say no. I'm going to bounce a question back to you and say to you, "Do you have a dictionary?"
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a dictionary?
Any dictionary.
Huh?
Many dictionaries, yeah.
You got
Yes,
many
many.
dictionaries. So
I can show you many different.
So the reason why I asked you that is because within a dictionary, there are words, and if you have a book, a dictionary thesaurus, that's even better. Within that dictionary, there's words, and those words mean something.
Yeah.
And when you read that word,
Yes.
you learn what that word means. You've gained knowledge. So to me, the dictionary has more weight than stories in the Bible. Sure, the stories are good stories. Sure, the stories are good stories, and I respect. I have no problem. I don't have any disrespect to any person who wants to follow what the Bible says. Sure, please, by all means. Who am I to judge you by what you believe? I don't judge anybody, but for me, I have more interest in a dictionary. Why? Because I will be able to look up a word, see the word, learn the word, absorb the word, and I've gained knowledge. And
Okay.
so the Bible,
Let's look up the word Negro.
Negro is a derivative of the word noir, which means black. When you look at that word, do you know what etymology means?
Of course I do, yeah.
All right, so the etymology deals with the evolution of a word.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at the word Negro, Negro is a derivative of the word noir. So it started off with noir, then Negro, then eventually nigger. When we look at that,
I have a reason why I ask you that, because I'm going to go to the Bible.
okay.
So yeah, so you're saying that's the where you said nigger comes from?
Nigger came from Negro, Negro came from noir, which ultimately means black.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the scriptures in Acts 13,
Mm-hmm.
can you bring it up on your, have you got something you can type in and bring it up so you can read it? Because I want you to check the meaning. I want you to check the meaning, and because the Bible tells us something different.
Of the word noir.
No, yeah, right. Let me read it for you.
Go, please.
No, this is coming from Acts 12, verse 13, Acts 13, verse 1.
Mm.
Now there were in the church that was in Antioch certain prophets, prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon was called nigger, right? So this nigger, that's the nigger that we always been called. Have you ever been called a nigger before?
Of course.
Exactly. So we have a common thing between us, that if I should call you an Israelite, you would deny yourself as an Israelite. But if someone called both of us nigger, we would say, okay, he's a nigger, I'm a nigger, right?
I see where your logic is going, but here's where I have to sort of maybe hold you back a little bit.
No.
You defining yourself as an Israelite does not conscribe with, is not congruent with.
I'm going to show you in the Bible why. I'm going to show you with the scripture why, because I asked you about Negro. Well, Negro means black, right?
I was going to get to that. What I was saying was, if you look at the word nigger, Negro, noir, these are words that were used in a derogatory way to describe.
No, let's stick to. No, I'm not talking about the derogatory way of using something, because anyone can use anything in a derogatory way. It doesn't mean that thing is derogatory.
I know. I just, if you let me finish my thought, what I meant, because in relation to what you were saying, you said that in the book there's the word nigger, and have you been called a nigger? I said yes. You said, okay, I have too. So there's a connection. So if you now said Israelite, and I say no, you say okay. What I wanted to say was, in the book, there is nothing the word Israelite is more congruent with people who are from Israel. Yeah. In the book, when we talk about the word nigger, noir, negro, these words were used as a
You're the one that spoke about etymology, so we're going to use. So that's why I brought this up, so we can go into etymology and prove what you're saying through etymology. That's why.
But but what you're trying to do is use the word negro as a
I'm using a fraction.
Huh? Say that again.
I'm trying to prove to you that the God of the Bible is your God. I'm trying to prove that to you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you prove to me. I'm not gonna, because I was trying to.
And I'll prove, but you may think that I can't prove anything.
No, please. I'm very interested to see how you can prove it. Remember, you've used a very specific word, prove, and because you've said that, the burden is now on you for you to.
Exactly. So
okay.
You don't believe in the God of the scriptures.
Right.
So we already established that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find because I know that you are my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find a common ground where we can both link our connection together, because it's no point me serving our God and you're there not serving, and you're just thinking that you're free to do anything.
It's interesting that you call him our God, because I've said so many times, look, please prove to me. I'd like to see what you want.
It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you say. It's what your grandmother used to beat you to do.
Do you know what? I would love for you to continue and prove to me, like you said, what you were going to say. So please continue.
So in Acts 13, it says these Israelites were being called nigger. That's what this is saying. It says Simeon, Barnabas, and they were in a place they were prophets, and they were in a place called Antioch, those are the first church that was being built in Antioch. But these men that were prophets, they were being called nigger. So in society, nigger is actually a recognition of people. But if you don't call these people nigger, then their lineage will be broken. I don't see nigger as a bad term or as a derogatory term. I see it as who we are. Negro and nigger, yeah, it's who we are. So if you look in your etymology and you look at Israelites, it will tell you who the Israelites are and their description. And if you look for Niger, which is Niger, which is in the scriptures, it will tell you that these people are Black people from Israelites. So I don't see nigger as a derogatory. So you've been called nigger before. That to me is a proof that other people see you as how they would see me.
The last time we met, you said a lot of the times that you said many times that you and I are not the same, and we're not similar. You don't consider yourself Black. It's interesting that you the last time you said that, because now you're saying, okay, the word nigger kind of proves that you and I are the same.
Yeah.
When we look at the word nigger, again, etymology, nigger, negro, noir, you're now saying that it's one and the same. We are now one and the same, because those words have been used to define both of us. But yet, when we last spoke, I consider myself as Black. But when we last spoke, you said you don't consider yourself as Black. But yet we're now here using the word nigger.
Let's check out the etymology of Black. Let me get my dictionary. Hold on.
Go ahead.
So you need to check it yourself. Okay. Let me see if Black is in this concordance.
I do think we're straying. Yeah, sorry.
So I'm using the concordance, Grugent's concordance.
Okay.
Yeah. And in this Black, it says, well, it's just telling me that Black is just Black. Like there's, you know what Black is.
So this is what I said before, that each word, when we look at the etymology, each word has blended into the other one. So
you're saying that you're Black, but then Black must come from somewhere. How do you come to the term Black? Because the white man called you Black. So
no.
Yeah, how do you get to the term Black? Why do you identify yourself as Black?
Because
guys, I'm just gonna jump in here quickly. Make sure we're still on topic. Yeah.
We got way off. I'd like to.
I think it's on topic, because if we serve a God in the scriptures that's Black, and we by complexion, but then it's everyone in the scripture is black. Even in First Solomon 1 verse 5, he says, my skin upon me is black. He's black, but he's an Israelite.
So how does all of this? Let's follow your logic.
Yeah.
How does all of this help?
Identity. That's
How does all of this make me believe in the God of the Bible?
I'm not trying because the question, I'm not trying to make you believe. I'm trying to establish why don't you believe.
Right. So okay. So why don't I believe? And everything that's followed is trying to prove to me, because we used the word prove before, as to why the people in the Bible is the same as me, and why you serve that God of the Bible, which is black, and why I don't. So your logic is, even though you're asking me the question, why don't I believe in that God?
Yeah.
Similarly, at the same time, you're asking me, well, you're not asking me, you're trying to show me that I should believe in that God because of X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, when we look at the question, why do I not subscribe to the God of the Bible? All of these things that you bring up about what you've read and all of these other things, I commend you for doing that, because I feel like I can feel your passion for it. It's a thing that you are truly passionate about, and I can tell, and it gives you life, it gives you energy.
Am I passionate like this towards everyone or towards my own brothers?
I don't know. But
then the passion I'm showing you, I might not show the same passion to another person. So accept the passion that I'm showing you.
I'm not accepting it. I'm actually commending you. If you listen to what I'm saying, I said,
yeah, I know, and I
respect that. I'm commending you on your passion. But what I'm saying to you is, that same passion that you have for this book, I don't share it with you. And
that's fine. That's fine.
And the reason, and when we look at why I don't, there isn't enough for me to say, yes, that I believe what you passionate about. I'm not taking away your passion. I'm not, I respect it, and I think it's a way for you to live your life and make your journey through this world. But I personally don't subscribe to it. And
so what do you subscribe? What do you subscribe to?
As I said before, for me, I look at things in a very scientific, logical, reasonable.
That doesn't give me a clear, like if someone says, like, I subscribe to the scriptures, you basically just live your life according to a day-to-day process, and you just like
absolute Prince, you hit the nail on the head. I live my life day to day. I don't know what's going to come tomorrow. There is an old Chinese proverb that says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. I stay in the present. I stay because that's the only way that I can be intellectually honest with you. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen when we die. I don't know what the history. I do know certain parts of history, but I can only live in the now, in the present, in the moment. And
I got one good question. I got one more important question.
Sure, please.
Yeah, after you drink your water.
Yeah, please go. I'm listening.
Do you pray?
Used to.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I used to. Not anymore.
Like when you say you used to, like when you say someone say used to, it could be like yesterday you stopped praying, or
I mean I used to pray, as in a very long time ago.
So you haven't prayed in a long time?
No.
So you definitely do not believe in you believe in yourself, basically.
No, let's circle back. Again, if you had let me finish what I was trying to say before.
Problem.
There is no, me believing in a higher power is not the issue. I don't have let me stipulate to you that, and if you follow me, I don't have an issue with believing in a higher power, a greater power, a power that is beyond anything that we can fathom. but I don't believe in the power from the book that you claim to subscribe to. Now, this is where we get into two modes of thinking. You believe in the God of the Bible. Cool. I say whoever or whatever God is, I say to you that no one knows that being. Because here's the thing. When I stop and I look at the I look at the stars, the moon, the universe, the solar system, the galaxy, where did all of this come from? Where did all of this come from? Well, like I said earlier on, in the moment of the Big Bang, we don't know what transpired within the millisecond before the Big Bang. The Big Bang is a scientific fact.
What?
I asked this.
I know you want to
So,
share it.
let
But I don't want you to. Let's stick to this topic.
Okay.
We're talking about the Big Bang now and stuff like that. And I
No.
know
I was trying to explain why I don't subscribe to the Bible.
But
Because
let's stick to the Big Bang then. In the beginning, in Genesis 1, verse 1,
yeah,
he says, "In the beginning, God." Who wrote that?
in the beginning.
Yeah, God created the heaven and the earth.
I don't know who wrote it. I know it was a man that wrote it.
But the fact that it says in the beginning, God, who was before God?
In the beginning. Are you quoting scripture to me? Is this
Yeah, you see, this is Genesis 1, verse 1.
So in the beginning there was God. Right.
Yes.
So okay. Continue.
No, these are the first 4 letters in the Bible. It says,
right.
In the beginning, God.
Right.
Think about that first sentence.
Okay.
So in the beginning, God. So who was writing this that says in the beginning, God? And then after that, it says, and God created the heaven and the earth. So even the Big Bang have an existed as a beginning point, right?
The Bible doesn't mention the Big Bang, dude. It doesn't mention it.
Exactly. So the Big Bang that you're talking about, it must come from somewhere.
That's what I said.
So
if you had allowed me to finish, what I was trying to say was to you, as I've said however many times, I don't have a problem in believing in some higher power that created all of this.
But the higher power that you're talking about, you cannot identify it. So it's
I don't need, no, dude, I don't need to identify that power, because here's the thing. God, for me, God, whoever or whatever God is, because here's the difference. You're trying.
Any God that you mention have to come from this, or then you have to identify that God.
No. Look.
If it doesn't come from this, then it's on you to identify the God that you're talking about.
Okay, so you're missing what I'm saying.
I'm saying if you mention God, it needs to come from this.
Okay, so hold on, stop. Slow down. And Prince, I would love you to listen to what I'm saying, right? I never said God. I said whoever or whatever this higher being is. I've got no problem in believing that it is some kind of God. I don't know if it is God or whatever you want, if that's how you want to call it. What I'm saying to you is I have no problem in believing in a higher power, a greater power, a power that is so unfathomable that we can't comprehend it. Now, when I say this, that being might be anything. It could be a God, it could be something else. I don't know. I can only be intellectually honest with you and say, listen, I've got no problem in subscribing to a higher power that's out there that's created everything. But what I don't subscribe to is you telling me that you know that power through this book. That's where we differ. You're saying this is the book that tells me about God, and that's it. And I'm saying to you, listen, whoever or whatever God is, we human beings, we don't know what that being is. Because let me show you something. You've seen ants, yeah? You've seen ants, you know an ant is, yeah?
If you said we human beings do not believe when I believe and you don't believe, how is that practical?
No. I never said we don't believe. I said we human beings, we don't know what that power is. What we want to do is, do you know what anthropomorphizing is? Do you know what
No,
that means?
explain.
All
No.
right, so anthropomorphizing is when we humanize things. We attempt to we attempt to make things human. Everything is, we try to bring it into a human form. So it says in the Bible, God created us in our image. But because we know men wrote that Bible, it's more likely that men wrote it to make God in our image. And the reason why I say this, it circles back to what I said about whoever or whatever this power is. We don't know this power, and we are trying so hard to understand where we came from. How did we come into this thing called the universe? Where did we how did we come about? We've gone, okay, it's God, and that God looks like us. And this is why I said to you, we've done this to God. We've gone, God bring him down, or he, or whatever. We don't know that being, but we claim that we like to claim that we know the being through this book. So what I'm saying to you is, I don't have a problem with that, whoever or whatever that being is. I've got no problem believing that that being is there, because I still question, where did all of this come from? But what I don't subscribe to is you telling me that you have that being on tap through that book every Sunday, and you talk to the being, and you know that being backwards. And when we look at the being,
I do Sabbath, not Sunday.
Yeah, say that again.
I do Sabbath, not Sunday, Saturday worship. I do Sabbath.
But you believe you. So if we go to prayer, because the thing is, I don't want to take this over. This is your time, Esoteric. I don't want to sort of take over and bounce questions back to you. I want you to come at me with the questions, and I hope that I'm answering them for you. But you said that you do prayer, so that means that you talk to God, right?
No, I follow what my ancestors, because to me, the Bible is an historical record of different books, right? And it's the ways of my ancestors. That's where it's a tradition, it's a heritage. So it's just like every other tribe, they carry on their tradition from 4,000, 5,000 years ago,
So
right?
yeah.
So the scriptures are our tradition, the Israelites' tradition. So
So
when other nations are reading our scriptures, we know that it's not for them.
so we're still so you're still identifying as an Israelite that's not African or not black.
No, because we've been scattered all over the world, we would be ended up in Africa as well as Europe, as well as Mexico, as well as everywhere. So that's it.
So what then would you say that I am when I say to you that I subscribe to being black and African?
Then that's not a tribe. You can't, you haven't got, there's no tribe in the name Africa, unless if you identify to me your tribe and you said I'm from this tribe, and then I said to you that tribe is a Hebrew tribe, and you said no, it's not. And then when you go in your history, you see that the tribe that you represent is actually Hebrew people, then I'm not lying. It's just you that's denying yourself. So now, if you know that you're an Hebrew Israelite, then you cannot deny the God of the scriptures. But if you identify yourself as a Zulu tribe or as a tribe that is not of the Israelite descent, then, I mean, you have a free choice to chase back your lineage. Everyone has a free choice to chase back their lineage, but the Bible only speak of the children of Israel. In every book of this Bible, it speaks about the children of Israel, God's chosen. Even the Quran, it speaks about the children of Israel, which is tribes, just like you have many different tribes in Africa. But Igbo and Yoruba are two of the tribes from Israel. Yes.
Where to begin with all of that?
Your Big Bang Theory, let's talk about your Big Bang Theory, because after the Big Bang, how did life created after the Big Bang? What history is there to say, yeah, after the Big Bang?
But you see, I'm trying to be intellectually honest with you and saying to you that I don't know what came, how we came here.
But
And
the Bible tells us
that's why I have no problem in subscribing to a higher power that created all of this. The difference between you and I is you are claiming to know what that being is. You are claiming to know who that being is, what that being is. You are the chosen people of that being. That being is black, but then it's not. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you've said that I said to you that I've read up on quite a bit of psychology.
I'm saying that you're great. I'm saying that you're God's chosen. If you're denying the fact that I'm saying that you're God's chosen, that means you're also denying the fact that you don't want to be God's chosen, because someone else saying to me, I'm God's chosen, I'm an Israelite, it's better than saying that you're a thief.
Right.
Or it's better than saying you're not of the nation of Israel. For me to say that.
I said to you that I'm pretty well read on psychology. Remember, we talked about that the last time. One of the things that I've noticed, and I think I said this before in the last video. One of the things that I've noticed is in the last 5-10 years, there's a lot of different communities within the Black community that fancy themselves. My friend calls this, they have the chosen one syndrome. So the chosen one syndrome is psychologically speaking.
Where's your friend from?
No, it's irrelevant where my friend from. Well, what we're talking about is
it's very relevant, because it is very relevant.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's not? Do you know why?
Because there's many people that can make speeches.
Prince, do you know why it doesn't? Do you know why it's irrelevant? Because we're talking about it psychologically. There's a syndrome called the chosen one syndrome. What it is, it identifies people. It could be a person or persons who feel that they are special, that they are specifically chosen in some particular way. So you have said quite often that you are part of the chosen people. You are.
No, I'm saying you are. I know I am, but I know that you are.
No. What? Here's the thing. I don't subscribe to that, but you're saying that you do.
I'm saying that you are. Even if you don't subscribe, if you don't subscribe to a YouTube channel, does it mean the YouTube channel doesn't exist?
No, of course not. But that doesn't mean that the YouTube channel represents who I am. So, I mean, look,
but that's a different.
No. Look,
what you're trying to do is, when someone play back this video and they see the way you're dancing around, like, obviously we're trying to have a conversation, but I'm saying, if you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel, does that mean the YouTube channel does not exist?
No.
And then you're going to say, and then you're going to add to it. So that means I need to add to it.
Prince, please let me talk. You keep saying all the, we're having semblances of what happened in the last video, and I'd like to try and stick to.
You don't like to listen. You don't like to listen, and we're talking about why you don't believe in God. And I want to read.
Okay. So Prince, here's what I'm going to say to you. You just asked me if the YouTube channel, if you don't believe in the YouTube channel, does it mean that the YouTube channel doesn't exist? I said to you, of course not. But here's the difference. The YouTube channel has got nothing to do with me, whether it exists or not. You're telling me that this thing.
But that's a specific.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I didn't be specific with the.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Your example of the YouTube channel is trying to say, look, if the YouTube channel existed, whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. It exists. And
then what did you
but
say?
I said
say what you say, and then let me say something.
But let me finish. The YouTube channel existing doesn't mean anything to me because it's not relating to me. You're saying that
how do you know it doesn't relate to you? How do you know it doesn't relate to you?
Okay, so
how do you know it doesn't relate to you?
Because I know it doesn't.
Well, how you know that? If I
because you've just said that if the YouTube channel exists, if a YouTube channel exists, me not believing in it doesn't make it not exist, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So now what we have to look at is, does this YouTube channel relate to me?
Exactly.
Right. So if the YouTube channel relates to me, by all means, let's have a look at it, because how would we know? Right. Okay. So you've
But you
looked
can't
at.
denounce it unless I tell you what YouTube channel
No,
it is.
no. You can't tell me what the YouTube. If you say to me, Daniel, there's a YouTube channel about you, I will say, really, Prince, let me go and look at the YouTube channel. And then I'll say, you know what, Prince? You are right.
Okay,
Hold on.
stick up in there, stick
Let me
up in there,
finish.
stick up in there.
Let me finish. I will
But
say to you,
if you decide not to subscribe to that particular YouTube channel that is about you, does that mean that the YouTube channel does not exist?
but that's not the point. You're saying that you're saying to me that I am one of the chosen. I'm saying to you, I don't subscribe to that. Because and you said that you are telling me that I'm the one of the chosen. I say I don't subscribe to that. The YouTube channel that exists, if it's about me,
That is about you. The one that is
let's say,
about you.
all right, let's go with that argument.
Yeah.
Let's say the YouTube channel is about me.
Yes.
You say to me, Daniel, there's a YouTube channel. It's about you. I said to you, really, Prince? Let me go and have a look at this. Are you sure? Are you sure it's about me, Prince? Are you sure? Yes, Daniel, I know you. I know who you are. I know what you're about. That YouTube channel is about you. And because I know you-ish, I know you, I'll go, okay, let me go and have a look at this channel because you know what, Prince, I hear you. Let me, we've known each other for a while. Let me go and see this channel. It's like it's like one of my best friends saying, oh, hey. And then if I get to this YouTube channel and there's nothing about it in there that's about me, I say, well, Prince, what are you talking about? You see, the thing is, you're saying that because you've said to me that the book is I am one of the chosen, no matter what I believe, I'm one of the chosen. You foisting that onto me doesn't make me one of the chosen because you saying that is true because you read it and it's about you. That's got nothing to do with me because you and I don't subscribe to the same thing. And the fact that we don't subscribe doesn't suddenly make my subscription irrelevant. It makes us different. You don't identify as African, Black. I do. But yet you keep saying, Daniel, you are this. And I'm going, Prince, I'm not that. Thank you for telling me what you think I am, but that's not what I am. I haven't at one point in this discussion said to you, Prince, actually, you are this. Because there's a number of things that I could use psychologically when we look at psychology and say, look, like I was going to say earlier on, the chosen one syndrome, a lot of people have this thing where they want to feel special. This is why where you hear people say things like, we are the original this, we are the true Christians, we are the first Hebrews, we are the this, we are the chosen, whatever. It's known as the chosen one syndrome. It's a way of trying to make yourself feel special in a world that we don't know where our speciality lies. If you look at the universe and the planet Earth, right? Have you ever watched a video? There's a video online called the Earth, the universe is way smaller than you think it is. At some point in that video, it talks about the Voyager 1 space probe, how it was traveling towards the sun in space. And at some point, the camera on that space probe turns itself back and takes a picture of Earth. Do you know how small we are when we look at that picture? When we receive that picture back to Earth, do you know how microscopic we are? We are so small, we are so microscopic that we cannot even begin to understand how small we are. 100 years ago, people thought that the sun revolved around the Earth. They were convinced we are the special. The sun goes around us. It's now proven that we go around the sun. That's a scientific fact. Now, when you look at this picture on the space probe Voyager, we are so infinitesimally small. I can't even say the word. We are so microscopic that we can't begin to understand how small we are. And what we try to do, circling back to anthropomorphizing God and trying to make ourselves feel better, we are ultimately trying to make ourselves feel special. So this is why when you look at humans, we have a number of different traditions and cultures and stuff because everybody wants, part of the human condition is to want to feel special. And that extends even into spirituality. We want to feel special.
You believe that there is a God. You do believe that. Can you speak?
I have no power. I have no problem believing that there is a higher power, but I don't believe in the biblical version of what you're telling me.
And this is where, because I'm including you as biblical child of God, and you're denying yourself. But what I'm trying to say is,
Hold on, stop. And I
your
want you to
father
continue. I
before
want
you.
you to continue, but I reject the statement, I'm denying myself. That's you foisting
So
that onto
when
me.
you're rejecting something, you can stop me in midway and reject me. But when I'm rejecting something from you, you want to continue. And
No,
this
no,
is
no,
where
no. This is the first time I've stopped you.
I allow you. This is how I conversate.
Please,
This is
please,
how I
okay,
conversate.
please,
If I'm
please, please.
speaking something about you,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
this is how I normally conversate. If I'm speaking something about you, and I see that I see that you're saying that this, I would stop and let you correct it so that we can move on. But when I'm doing it to you, you feel like I'm intruding.
Do you know what? If you if you look back at the video, you'll see that every time I've tried to explain about something, you have intruded. So, for want of a better term, when you say to me a number of times, Daniel, you are this. That's what you've said, whether you've implied it or you directly, indirectly said it. I haven't said that to you at any point in time. And what I would like you to understand is the difference between how you see me and how I see you. I see you as an individual who has all of his rights and privileges to do and believe whatever you want to believe. But you see me as something that you want to impart something onto to tell me who I really am, because I'm denying myself. Do you see the difference? And that's why I say, look, for me personally, I don't subscribe to the book that you subscribe to. However, if you choose to follow that, I got nothing but love for you, man. I got nothing but,
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah, go.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Why? So as a black man, you come from Africa, right? There's different countries, there's different types of people within Africa, like Somalians.
Yeah. North, south, east, west. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I was speaking to a Somalian person, no, I wouldn't be speaking to them the same way as I'm speaking to you. If I'm speaking to someone from South Africa, I wouldn't be speaking to them the same way I'm speaking to you. I'm only speaking to you this way because I see a connection between my people and your people by description, by looks, by physical features, by similar attributes to enslavement and with colonization, you know.
You know, it's interesting you say this, because I haven't seen you in any other way as you've just described me. But between the two of us, you are the one who has said time and again, even as pertaining in our last video, you are the one who has repeatedly said, Daniel, you are this, you're not what you think you are. And I have said, Prince, you are who you are, and I still love you for who you are, right? Because you have come up to me, even in the last video. This is interesting you're saying this now, because in the last video you say, yeah, we're not the same, we are the same, we're not the same, there's we.
No, the only time I said we're not the same is before you identified who you are.
Okay, so now I've identified, now
Sorry,
we're
gents,
the same.
I'm going to jump in quickly.
Yes.
Prince, I want to wrap it up soon, so I'm going to give you two more questions, two more opportunities to ask some questions.
Yeah, I'm just going to read. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just want to read like from Genesis 1 verse from 1 to 6. Yeah, and then if you don't believe, and if you believe the Big Bang Theory, then that's on you.
Okay.
So, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And in the evening, the night, and in the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, let there be a firmament up in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. That's our big bang, according to the scriptures. And it continues in detail to up until Adam, up until Eve, then Noah, you know, Cain and Abel. It tells everything. So you not believing in God and you walked away from it at 13, it doesn't change my understanding of who you are because you walked away from something or you decide not to subscribe. It's not, you can't decide who you are because you was born to a man and a woman. The fact that you was born as a baby to two Israelite women or Israelite man and woman, sorry, that means you now have no understanding of who you are unless you go back to the scriptures. So your Big Bang Theory is something that we can never decide. And God is the God of the Bible is a true God of a people. If you deny these people, you deny yourself. What you have to say?
Again,
you denying these people. You denying being an Israelite.
Okay. So I want you to listen to me very carefully, Prince. What you said was it was I think I want to circle back to commending you and saying to you that I respect everything that you say, everything that you want to say, everything that you feel, and everything that you feel that you are, and everything that you believe. But I don't subscribe to it. And the more you tell me that I'm denying myself, there's a word in psychology known as projection. You are projecting that onto me because that's what you want me to feel. I don't feel that. And I will double down and I'll say to you that I don't subscribe to the book that you believe in. You are free to subscribe to it because you keep saying you and I are the same and all of that, sure. But I am happy for you to be who you are.
I want to ask you one more question.
And let me, yeah, sure. Let me finish.
Let me ask you my last question.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm happy for you to be who you are. As you know, whether you think we're the same or whether you think I'm denying myself, you can say that all day. I will say to you this. You are the person that you choose to be, and so am I. And within that, we have our differences in how we see the world. But the only difference between you and I is I will never judge you for who you are, but you clearly judge me for who I am.